Today we're doing an interesting technique. We're not going home until we get comics. So let's see if we can't manifest something at the flea markets, yard sales, or comic shops. Let's try for it. I'm a sucker for some Star Wars stuff, but that's not going to do the job here. So this dude is here every week. I usually ignore him because everything he sells for $5 a pop. His pile was looking a little bit different this time. He actually had some good stuff in there, but at $5 a book, you got to be pretty discerning. You got to go in and make sure, as a full-time comic seller, that the purchase is actually going to make sense. Is it going to make you more than $5? If not, put it back. And luckily this time, not only was I able to get the price down, but I actually did find some decent stuff, so I think it turned out okay. And here we are sat down at the local diner, where I go over the spoils of my victories. We got the first Malekith, the first Bondage, Jane Foster. I did get these tossed in here. They actually don't have the best value, so that was a little bit of a bust. But we did get some nice 12-cent war books, a couple smaller Thor keys. This is the Modern Comics reprint of a very classic Peacemaker cover, which does actually have some value even as the 70s reprint. Just some other Thor books, the first appearance of Hank Henshaw. I got the price down to about $30 for this whole stack. I think I did okay, but I ain't retiring off of this.
I got some neat comic books, huh?
Oh yeah. Can you believe I almost went home before I saw this? We're going to be here a while. And at first, I'm glad I didn't walk away, because when you first look at these prices, you think, geez, these are wrong. Everything seemed like it was about 2, sometimes 3 times the value that the comic was worth. So, pretty huge turnoff right off the bat. He had things priced at like $100, which is like the full high that the book could ever do, even though it has spine ticks. Like, his prices weren't right at all on first notice. Now, here's the thing with this dude. Everything was half off, and then I was able to get some significant discounts on a couple books even beyond half off. So an interesting selling method for this guy, but hey, I am glad I stuck it out. I'll show you in just a second what I got. Believe it or not, I somehow was actually able to get some stuff out of that. So you can actually go ahead and completely ignore these $50 and $60 price tags, because everything I'm about to show you I got for $140 cash. We got a Venom Lethal Protector #1. It looks perfect. We have a really tricky Silver Surfer Carnage from the later in the ASM run when it wasn't printed as much, $431. We did get a Tales of Suspense 71. I got a Moon Knight. It's not in fantastic shape, but it is a newsy #1, first appearance of Khonshu. And probably my favorite one, this is the other Amazing Fantasy 15. This is the more modern one. This has some crazy value on it, and frankly, this one looks perfect, so I will be sending it off to CGC. $140 cash, I think that works out just fine. So we did it, right? We got $30 worth of nice value from one guy, and then we walked over and found another vendor, got a small pile of big books, some of which are even going to go to CGC. The day could have ended there. Well, that's true, but I got a text from the owner of Phantasm Comics in New Hope, who just got in some World's Finest and Adventure comics, and invited me over to come take a look. Now, I chatted with him on the phone, and we kind of came to a price before I even got out there. So I actually picked up this entire box for $300 cash, which, if you ask me, I think is really good, especially from a local comic book shop doing that one. Now, I think for some reason he just wanted the space gone, or I don't really know what. So I think there was like a little special situation here, because frankly, some of the stuff was pretty nice. Some of it, no doubt, was low condition. A lot of it was low grade. But there would randomly be sprinkles of 12-cent books that were pretty darn high. And some stuff that went all the way up into the 8s. Some stuff was all the way down in like the 1.8s. You know, it was a total mixed bag. Still, $300 would definitely work. Silver Age and even a little pinch of the end of the Golden Age in here definitely is a big seller for my channel. So I thought that this was a particularly good purchase, and I'll be looking forward bringing these to claim sales very soon. Now, this is a little bit of a spoiler, but while I was here, you know, I wanted to know if he had anything else. So while we already had an agreed upon price for all the adventure comics and the world's finest books, I did get a crack at checking out some other books, which I will show you momentarily, some of which already were gradable candidates, some of which I'll be bringing to claim sales, as there was plenty of meat on the bone for me to still make some sort of profit in there. Regardless, this ended up being a fantastic day of just getting on out there, wishing for something to happen, and it really kind of did work out just that easily. So we ended up having 4 good scores of the day. One at the flea market, another one at the flea market that was a little bit better, this long box full of Silver Age DC goodness, and then the box I'm going to show you, which is the cherry on top. And I'll even go ahead and show you what my next submission is going to look like if you stay to the end of the video. It will include a couple books that I picked up last week, so there will be a couple repeats in there. But overall, it is a solid run. I'm really looking forward to getting my next batch off to CGC. Now I'm going to speed this up, and we're going to move on to a short box of a collection that had literally just walked into Phantasm, that I was just at the right place and the right time. Check it out. We're going to start the box off with the Moon Knight that you saw earlier. I did go ahead and get this entire box priced out. The Moon Knight book I might honestly hold on to. The newsstands do have such a nice value that I just don't know. That Amazing Spider-Man you saw before. The Clerks book was actually from a video from last week, but check this out. Captain Marvel, all mid to high grade up. And with so many duplicates, it's frankly ridiculous. Some of the books I had 4 different copies of, which is pretty sweet. And luckily for me, some of the ones that had duplicates were actually the ones that were notable keys. So this ended up being a pretty darn good buy. Not to mention, I've talked about this channel before. What are some great covers? And you know what? Captain Marvel had some good Silver Age covers, man. I like, honestly, these covers a lot better than the Iron Man runs and a lot of other stuff that was going on at the time. Really good looking stuff here. Really good cosmic Marvel fun, man. So this was a really good pickup right here, and I'm going to keep going. I did get the Batman 50 and the Superman 50. Those are the JLA covers. They'll go nicely together. A 375 ASM. Look at this. A Newsy first appearance of Ventriloquist and Scarface. Couple spine ticks that are non-color breaking, so I'm excited to get it to my presser. First Scream right here. Perfect condition, too. First Justice League Detroit newsstand. Death of Harry Osborn newsstand, very high grade. ASM 365. Chew, number 1, but don't get excited. It's like the 4th print. Couple smaller keys mixed in here. Full run of Marvels. Hey, a perfect looking Green Lantern 25. I should probably send that out to CGC. A couple other awesome looking giant sized Supergirls and others. A Black Panther first White Wolf right here. Perfect condition, first Kyle Rayner newsstand. Now that I should definitely get to CGC. I don't know why I didn't separate that. That one's going to be going off. This Batman 404 also could be a CGC contender for sure. Now this Supergirl, and I think back this tail end of this box, I think is from the video that you saw earlier last week. Still some good stuff though. Now let's move on to the fun. Now, the Amazing Fantasy 15, not perfect condition. It needs a little bit of a press and clean, so that's going off. I also got 2 copies of Superman 123, the classic blue Superman. That's the cover version you never see, though. Don't mind my Green Lanterns. You know they're always going to be in here. Dark Claw Adventures number 1, gorgeous copy, possible 9/8 contender. First, Stephanie Brown. This Final Crisis, Rage of the Red Lanterns, you saw that from a video from last week. Same with the Elseworlds Finest. I did mix a little bit of that in here, so don't forget. That I'll put a link to that video. There's some really good stuff there, especially all these new 52 Batman stuffs, which, hey, watch out for. They got some nice value associated with them, too. JLA #1, third Harley Quinn, just a rare Tony Daniel variant right there. Awesome Batman cover, a Nightwing #1, some nice Marvel fanfare keys, Iron Maiden keys, both of them. A bunch of the Moon Knight plat covers, almost all of them. I think I skipped 58. I think I got 57. Yeah, I got pretty much all of them. I'm skipping one of them. The New Mutants 98 isn't perfect. It's probably a 9294, so we'll see. This one, that's a perfect 98, that Cable, so I'm excited. Same thing with that 101 right there. Okay, this book you're seeing for the first time. First appearance of Anti-Venom. Bunch more Green Lanterns thrown in, and then we're going to top it off with the flea market find of the Lethal Protector #1, the Venom. And that's another crispy clean copy, 9.8 ready as is. What an absolute success of a day. I'll see you at the next video. Make sure to come down to Sentiment Depot Antiques and Collectibles, where I'm set up with all of my comics, located at 238 West Delaware Ave, Pennington, New Jersey. Open every day except for Monday and Tuesday. Enjoy 10% off from Wednesday to Friday. See you there.